Welcome back to Wasatch Weekends. We are joined by Terry Sidford, an author, podcaster, TEDx speaker, and just general personality. Welcome to the show, Terry.
Thank you for having me.
So you've got a new book club that's just started, right? You had your first one yesterday, I believe. How did that
I
go?
did. Yes, it was Truth, Courage, Love. It's based on my memoir that was released in January of this year. And I wanted to dive deeper into the book and talk about concepts that I learned in my life journey that's in my book.
So before we get into your book a little bit, tell us a little bit about your book club and kind of what the impetus for that was, how it got started, and does it focus on a specific theme or does that theme change from week to week?
Good question. It's what I decided to do is talk about different concepts, which I have many concepts in my book, but the title is Truth, Courage, and Love. So the first meeting last night, we talked about truth and all the aspects of truth and how truth played a part in my life journey and invaluable lessons to overcoming adversity. And then I asked the people, the guests that are joining about the truth in their own life. And I'm hoping that most people that join the book club have read the book. And if not, they can still join and read it later. But we just kind of dive deeper into the concept of truth. And it was very lively, and everyone walked away with a new viewpoint.
It sounds fantastic. So it seems like everything went well. Tell us a little bit about your book and that concept of truth.
Thank you. The book was designed to tell the story of my life, of course, a memoir, and how I turned adversity into incredible life lessons that really led me to the life that I have now. And that is a happy, fulfilling, and successful life. And I want everyone to know when they read my book that it doesn't matter what you've gone through in your life. You really can turn adversity into opportunities, lessons, and you can grow and you can start over. If I can do it, so can you.
So let me ask you a little bit about how you got started in writing in general. I know it's like a lot of people have stories to tell, but sitting down at a blank page can be quite a daunting task. And I know a lot of people can look at that and just give up right away. What was sort of your drive to complete a memoir?
Yes, writing isn't something I thought I would do in my lifetime. In fact, when I grew up, I was horrible at grammar and spelling. So writing was just not even on the radar. But what happened is I was a life coach for over 20 years, and I was sitting down and having coffee with a friend and telling her how amazing women were, because I mostly worked with women, and that they were really strong, courageous, but never saw it in themselves. My friend asked me, Terry, that's an interesting subject. Wouldn't you like to know the answer to that? I'm like, sure, I would love that. She said, I think you should write a book about it, create a survey, and gather it from 100 women. And I just started laughing. I'm like, no, I can't write a book. I'm not a writer. I can't do that. And she looked me in the eye and said, listen, let's get the information and I will help you write the book. And that's how it all started. And here I am now in my second book. And it was much easier, of course, the second time. But, if you have a story, you have a message out there and you want to get it out in a book or even, in some other form, you can always ask the experts. There's people out there that are willing to help you. So that's my best advice. I never thought I'd be here, and it was really, truly been one of the most rewarding things I've done in my life.
Well, and I guess that brings us to courage a little bit. Having that courage to reach out and ask for help with some of these projects that you might not necessarily have every little bit of information for. Is that the subject of your upcoming book club?
Yes, we talk about that. In fact, our next one, which is going to be on July 26th, we're going to be talking about courage. And that's a huge concept and a very important part of my life. And the things that I'm most proud of that I've accomplished in my life have taken a lot of courage. And it's kind of stepping out into what you think you can't do or you never thought is possible into the possibilities of your life. That's what courage can do. And it's facing the fear, going through it, and getting on the other side. And it's really very exciting when you get to the other side of that.
Well, you mentioned a couple of times, like starting over and taking a new start at life. Is there any advice you have for people that are kind of looking down the barrel of a major change like that?
Yes, I do. Ask for help, first of all. Surround yourself with people that really care about you and have your best interest in mind. And there's always people out there to help you. That's number one. Number two, dig deep and know that who you are inside, that person, that soul, whatever spirit, whatever you want to call that, it's whole inside. Go find that person, take some time, and know that all these outside circumstances are really going to be temporary. And take care of yourself, self-care. And then once you get past that step, take the next step. And all of a sudden things will start to seem brighter, and you'll start to see possibilities. And you'll learn from any mistake or anything that has happened in your life. Even if somebody has done something to you, make sure that you do not become a victim. Out-create whatever happened and become that superhero of your life.
It's fantastic advice. And so let me then ask you about how that sort of moves into that love concept as well, like being forgiving perhaps, maybe being just loving of yourself in the event that you're having a rough time.
Yes, that's a very, very good transition. Really, if you can't forgive yourself, then you really can't love yourself. So they're kind of one and the other. If you have done something that you feel like you shouldn't have done, and you're just being really hard on yourself, give yourself some love like you would a best friend. Forgive yourself. And that allows you to also forgive other people. And that brings you back to opening your heart. And it does take courage to do that. And forgiveness is a concept a lot of people have a hard time with. But when you don't forgive, you're not hurting that other person, you're only hurting yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to agree and condone what happened. It just releases you from the negative energy so that you can get back your power, and you can start opening your heart up to love again. And that's where our power is making sure that we're always staying connected to our heart. And courage also helps you do that.
That's something that I've definitely noticed, how like when we do get kind of sucked into that negative cycle and we get angry with ourselves or some circumstances in our life, it does really rob us of that power to make change or to take action. It's definitely something that I've noticed, and something that's led me to more of a mindful practice in my life.
Wonderful.
What do you guys
Wonderful.
have this coming up book club? Is that going to be focusing again on your memoir, or are you going to have a new guest?
The first three meetings are going to be based on my memoir. So we're going to talk about truth, which was last night. And the next one, end of July, will be about courage. And then in August, we will talk about love. And then I'm going to add guests to our program. So guest authors that have something to say.
Well, fantastic. So, Terry, if there's anything else that you'd like to share with us, or anywhere that people can get a hold of you, where can they find you?
They can find me on my website or on Instagram, Facebook, and all the social media links. But go to my website. Everything is there. It's Terry, Terry, Sidford, Sidford, .com, and reach out to me. I would love to help you. And we have a lot of fun things going on. And you can find my book there. You can also go to Amazon to find my book, Truth, Courage, and Love.
Awesome. Terry Sidford, thank you so much for joining us. And if you guys would like to join her book club, the next opportunity, is coming up July 22nd, correct?
July 26th.
26th.
Yes,
Well,
at 5:30 Mountain Time.
Awesome. Well, Terry Sidford, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we'll be right back with more Wasatch Weekends.